Nestled within the endless blue expanse of Lake Victoria lies a speck of land shrouded in mystery, Migingo Island. Here, where the wind whispers secrets across churning waters and the sun sets in molten gold, time itself seems to pause in reverence. Migingo is not merely a dot on the map. It is an enigma, a testament to human resilience and adaptability in the most unlikely of places. Today, you and I will embark on a journey to discover the 10 most bizarre wonders hidden within this remote rock. From the extraordinary density of its population to the peculiarities of its daily life, Migingo is a world apart, where reality bends to the will of those who call it home. Prepare to be astonished by tales of survival, community, and wonder, all cradled within a space scarcely larger than a football field. So I invite you, dear viewer, to close your eyes and imagine standing at the heart of Migingo Island. Feel the cool spray of the lake. Hear the cacophony of voices and the distant laughter carried on the wind. As the waves lap relentlessly at the shore, let us step together into the shadows and sunlight of Migingo, a place where the extraordinary is simply everyday life. Imagine a world where every inch of ground is precious, a mere 2,000 square meters teeming with human life. This is the reality of Migingo Island, where upwards of 400 people share a rock barely the size of a football field. Here, living space is measured not in rooms, but in heartbeats and footsteps, as families, fishermen and traders carve out homes in the tightest of quarters. From dawn until dusk, the island pulses with energy. Children dart through winding footpaths, weaving between the knees of adults as they go about their business. The air is thick with the sounds of conversation, laughter, and the ever-present slap of water against stone. Privacy is a luxury unknown. Life is lived in the open, every joy and sorrow shared with the community. This density brings challenges unimaginable to those accustomed to wide-open spaces. Residents jostle for space to cook, to sleep, even to think. Yet in this claustrophobic embrace, a unique micro-community flourishes, bound tightly by necessity and shared experience. Each person, from the seasoned fisherman to the enterprising vendor, plays a role in the island's intricate social web. Conflict and cooperation coexist. Moments of tension dissolve into laughter, and strangers become family in the blink of an eye. There is no room for isolation. On Migingo, every soul is a thread in the vibrant tapestry of life. And so, on this tiny outcrop, humanity finds a way, adapting, enduring, and thriving amidst the most improbable of circumstances. Migingo is not just a marvel of human density, it is also a geopolitical riddle. This minuscule island, seemingly insignificant to the outside world, sits at the heart of a prolonged dispute between two nations, Kenya and Uganda. Its strategic location, nestled within rich fishing grounds, has made it a coveted prize, transforming peaceable waters into a stage for political drama. Flags flutter in the breeze, sometimes Kenyan, sometimes Ugandan, each claiming dominion over the rocky outcrop. The border, invisible to the naked eye, is fiercely contested with maps, patrols, and the vigilant gaze of government officials. Residents, meanwhile, live in a limbo of shifting allegiances, their daily lives shaped by decisions made far beyond the horizon. Tensions occasionally flare as authorities from both nations arrive to assert their presence. Onlookers gather, uncertain whether to stand in defiance or deference. Yet, amidst the uncertainty, the people endure, finding ways to live, work, and love on soil claimed by more than one motherland. This ongoing border dispute has turned Migingo into a living paradox, a place of both unity and division, where national identities blur with each sunrise. For the residents, the flags may change, but the rhythm of life continues, driven not by politics, but by the ever-present need to survive. In this way, Migingo becomes a symbol, a testament to the complexities of belonging and identity, all played out upon a stage scarcely wider than a city block. At the heart of Migingo's economy and culture lies the vibrant, ever-changing spectacle of the floating fish markets. At dawn, the waters shimmer with the approach of boats laden with the day's catch, tilapia and Nile perch glistening in the morning sun. Fishermen, faces weathered by wind and water, call out their prices as buyers gather at the water's edge. The island itself lacks the space for sprawling markets, so commerce unfolds upon the lake. Here, boats bob and sway, forming a floating bazaar where negotiations are shouted from vessel to vessel. Money and fish pass hand to hand over the waves as scales tip and nets empty in a ritual as old as the island itself. This market is a place of camaraderie and competition, where fortunes rise and fall with each haul. The air is alive with the scent of fresh fish, mingling with the salty tang of the lake. Women sort and clean the catch, while children dart between boats, learning the trade with wide-eyed fascination. The commerce never truly sleeps, even at night. Lanterns bob on the water, marking boats still plying the lake in search of bounty. Here, the market is more than a place. It is the lifeblood of the island, sustaining its people and binding them together in a shared struggle against hunger and want. In this floating world, the boundary between land and water blurs, and the island's heartbeat is measured in the rhythm of the waves and the cries of the market traders. Migingo's landscape is a patchwork of corrugated iron and weathered tin, hammered together with hope and ingenuity. Every available space is claimed by makeshift metal huts, homes, shops, bars and storage units, all jostling for position on the crowded rock. The huts gleam in the sunlight, their surfaces reflecting a mosaic of colour and life. Inside, the spaces are cramped, but each tells a story. Some serve as bustling bars where laughter spills out into the night, while others function as tiny shops selling everything from bread to batteries. The walls bear the marks of adaptation, holes patched with scraps, roofs weighted down with stones to withstand the fierce winds. Living in such close quarters demands resilience. Privacy is rare, and every sound, every cough, every whispered word travels freely through thin metal walls. Yet these huts are more than just shelters. They are symbols of determination, each one a testament to its builder's will to survive. During storms, rain drums a relentless rhythm on the roofs, and the wind rattles the fragile structures. But within, families huddle together, sharing warmth and stories, drawing strength from one another. It is here, in these humble dwellings, that the true spirit of Migingo is forged. From the outside, the huts may seem haphazard, but together they form a living organism, a community that grows and adapts, ever resilient in the face of adversity. On Migingo Island, the concept of roads is but a distant dream. Here there are no vehicles, no rumble of engines or screech of tires. Instead, a network of winding footpaths threads its way between the crowded structures, connecting every corner of the island with a web of well-trodden earth. These narrow paths are lifelines trodden daily by hundreds of feet, Children skip along them on their way to school, while fishermen lug heavy nets and baskets down to the water's edge. Vendors weave through the maze, balancing trays of goods on their heads, their voices rising above the din to attract customers. The absence of roads has shaped life in subtle ways. Deliveries arrive by boat, and every necessity must be carried by hand, from the shore to its final destination. The footpaths are alive with activity. People greet each other, share news, and lend a hand when the way becomes crowded or slippery. In the rainy season, these paths become slick with mud, and progress slows to a careful shuffle. Yet the island's residents adapt, their steps sure and steady, learned through years of navigating this intricate labyrinth. The lack of mechanized transport fosters a closeness, a sense of shared journey that binds the community together. Here, every journey is measured in steps and smiles, and the island's story is written in the footprints of its people. In most places, the law is clear, defined by borders and enforced by a single authority. But on Migingo Island, law enforcement is a delicate dance performed by officers from two rival nations, each with their own rules and allegiances. Kenyan and Ugandan police patrol the same narrow paths, their uniforms a constant reminder of the island's disputed status. Each force maintains its own outpost, and residents must navigate a shifting landscape of regulations and requirements. Licenses, taxes, and fishing permits may depend on the day or the prevailing flag, creating a sense of uncertainty and tension. Disagreements are common, and the air crackles with the possibility of confrontation. Yet there is also cooperation. When emergencies arise, officers from both nations put aside their differences to ensure the safety of the island's people. They share information, coordinate responses, and work together to resolve disputes. This uneasy alliance is a testament to the pragmatism of Migingo's residents, who value peace and stability above all else. For the islanders, the presence of dual law enforcement is simply another part of daily life, a challenge to be managed, a puzzle to be solved. They adapt, learning to read the subtle cues of authority and to navigate the shifting tides of control. In this place where borders blur, the law is both a shield and a negotiation, a living, breathing entity shaped by the needs of the people it serves. Survival on Migingo depends on cooperation. Water, electricity, and food are not produced locally. They are imported, brought by boat from distant shores. Each arrival is an event, met with anticipation and relief, as barrels of fresh water, sacks of maize, and jerrycans of fuel are offloaded at the dock. Electricity is precious, generated by noisy, sputtering generators and rationed carefully. Lights flicker on at dusk, illuminating the island's nighttime activities, while mobile phones and radios are charged in communal shops. Water, too, is shared. Residents gather at communal taps, filling buckets and jugs, exchanging gossip and advice as they wait their turn. Food is a communal affair. While fresh fish is plentiful, other staples are scarce and must be rationed. Meals are often shared, with neighbors coming together to stretch resources and support one another through lean times. The island's economy is built on trust and mutual dependence, each person's survival tied to the well-being of the whole. Cooperation is not always easy. Disputes over resources flare, and tempers may fray when supplies run low. But more often than not, necessity prevails, and the community pulls together, solving problems, sharing burdens, and finding creative solutions to the challenges of island life. In this way, Migingo's people have created a system of shared survival, a delicate balance that sustains them even in the face of scarcity. Despite its diminutive size and dense human population, Migingo Island remains a haven for surprising bursts of wildlife. The skies above are alive with the cries of birds. Herons and cormorants perch atop the metal roofs, their wings catching the morning sun. Occasionally, an osprey wheels overhead, its sharp eyes scanning the water for prey. The lake itself is teeming with life. Fishermen often find themselves sharing space with otters and monitor lizards, which slip silently from the rocks into the depths below. At night, frogs sing from hidden crevices, their chorus blending with the laughter and music of the human residents. Even in the heart of this bustling community, nature finds a foothold. Children pause in their play to watch a kingfisher dive, or a flock of starlings wheel in perfect unison across the sky. The boundaries between human and wild are blurred, each adapting to the presence of the other. Sometimes these encounters are less welcome, snakes seeking warmth in the corrugated huts, or swarms of insects drawn by the glow of lanterns. Yet, the people of Migingo take it all in stride, respecting the creatures that share their home and weaving their presence into the fabric of daily life. Here, on this tiny island, the wild and the human coexist in a delicate dance, a reminder that even in the most unlikely places, nature endures. As the sun dips below the horizon and the sky fills with stars, Migingo Island undergoes a transformation. The narrow footpaths glow with the light of lanterns and generators, and the air pulses with the sound of music, lilting melodies and driving beats that echo across the water. In tiny bars and open spaces, laughter erupts, and the community gathers to celebrate the end of another day. Despite its size, Migingo is alive with energy at night. Fishermen return from the lake, their faces illuminated by the flicker of kerosene lamps, eager to share stories and unwind. Vendors fry fish and chapati at roadside stalls, their sizzling pans drawing hungry patrons from every corner of the island. Bars, though cramped, are filled with song and dance. Here, worries are set aside, and friendships are rekindled over bottles of beer and plates of fresh fish. The night air is electric with possibility, and the island seems to breathe in unison, its people united by joy, hardship, and the simple pleasure of being alive. Children, too, find their own magic in the darkness, chasing fireflies, inventing games, and listening to the tales spun by their elders. The night is a time for community, for connection, and for hope. On Migingo, the darkness holds no fear, only the promise of another dawn and the resilience of a people who refuse to be defined by their circumstances. At the heart of Migingo's strangest wonders lies its greatest treasure, the enduring spirit of its people. Against all odds, they have built a thriving community on a rock that most would deem uninhabitable. Their resilience is woven into every aspect of island life, from the crowded huts to the bustling markets, from the shared hardships to the nightly celebrations. Here, adversity is met with determination. When storms batter the island, neighbors band together to repair roofs and share resources. When disputes arise, they are resolved not with violence, but with dialogue and compromise. The islanders' adaptability is their greatest strength, a willingness to embrace change, to find opportunity in challenge, and to support one another in the face of uncertainty. Children grow up learning the value of community, of hard work, and of hope. Their laughter rings out across the water, a testament to the island's unbreakable spirit. Elders share stories of endurance, passing on wisdom that has carried generations through hardship and joy alike. Visitors to Migingo are often struck by the warmth and generosity of its people. Despite the island's challenges, there is no shortage of hospitality. a readiness to share a meal, a smile, or a helping hand with friend and stranger alike. In the end, it is this spirit, unyielding, creative and compassionate, that defines Migingo Island. It is a place where the extraordinary is made possible, not by circumstance, but by the indomitable will of its people. As the wind continues to sweep across the battered roofs and the waves lap persistently at the shore, I invite you to pause and reflect on the many mysteries of Migingo Island. Here, on this improbable speck of land, we have witnessed the triumphs and trials of a remarkable community, one that endures, adapts and thrives in the face of overwhelming odds. Let your mind wander to the narrow footpaths, the crowded huts, and the shimmering waters that surround this place. Imagine the laughter echoing in the night, the lanterns dancing in the darkness, and the voices of a people bound together by necessity and hope. In Migingo, the ordinary becomes extraordinary, and every day is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. As you leave this island, if only in imagination, carry with you the lessons of Migingo, the power of community, the beauty in adversity, and the enduring strength that lies within us all. May the wind and water remind you of the world's hidden wonders and of the courage it takes to call such a place home.